Hello Profit Seeker, it's good to see you. Now this video is a little prequel to the video that I've already recorded and the one that I'm about to show you. Basically I just wanted to say that my last video obviously really resonated with you guys when I was talking about cash and cash flow, and it's really weird that you guys were touching on those topics because this next video is the video that I've recorded specifically about money, cash flow. So as a little prequel to this video, I would just like to say thanks a lot for the people that got in touch. It's obviously a topic that's interesting to you guys and something worth learning about. But as a prequel to this video, I would suggest that you watch this all the way to the end, because if you were to just take the first half of this video, you might run away and make some very silly decisions. So I'd say take it all in, watch the whole thing as a whole, and then you can come to your own conclusions off the back of it. I'd love to hear what you think. Here it is. What's up my pivotal peoples? Welcome back to the channel. Now you're probably asking, Glenn, have you been wearing the same shirt for 3 weeks in a row? Well, the answer is no. I've sat down and I've filmed 3 videos on the bounce. Now I'm telling you this guys because you know what, that's a lesson that I learned from my favourite business book. And that lesson is batching jobs. If you're in the flow of doing something, you should just bang them all out. So for example, if you was to get 4 eBay sales over the course of a day, every time a sale comes through, if you were to go and package it and then post it, and then another sale comes through, so you have to go and package it and post it, how much time have you wasted traveling to the post office? How much time have you wasted getting your packaging materials out again? So the idea is, I'm batching these videos. It takes a lot of time to edit them. Editing is probably the biggest amount of time, but I thought rather than bosh them all out 1 week at a time, I'll just do them all in one go. So there's my explanation. It's kind of nice not to be wearing a black t-shirt because I always wear a black t-shirt. And for the record, I have many black t-shirts, it's not the same black t-shirt. Anyway, now we've got the clothing thing out of the way, let's move on to today's video. So today's video is about money. It's about profit. It's about finance. It's about cash flow. And this can apply to any single business that you're starting for yourself, or it can apply to your reselling business, like I'm going to talk about now. And this is my opinion to cash. When you have a business, cash is like oxygen. Cash is the thing that allows your business to continue and allows it to thrive. But if you sit on too much oxygen or cash, then there's no need. Do I need every piece of oxygen in this room? No. I'll probably need about this much oxygen for the next 20 minutes. Whereas the rest of it is just kind of floating around and it's not actually making any benefit to my life whatsoever. Now my opinion is, if you've got cash you generated from your reselling business, or you've got cash that's sat in the bank whatsoever, you need to make it work. And the thing that rich people do rather than poor people is that rich people make their cash work for them, whereas poor people will work for their cash. Now which one do you want to be? You want to make that cash work for you. So you can sit it in a bank account, yeah, it's working for you, earning your 0.5% in interest, or you can chuck it into a load more products and potentially gain, 10, 20, 30% profit off them over the next month. Now, if you look at it logically like that, it makes so much sense to reinvest all of your cash. So my opinion and my strategy is, as soon as the cash comes out, as soon as I have cash in my hand from my reselling activities, I'll throw it all back in again. So let's take an example. If you were to have £1,000 to invest in product, you buy £1,000 worth of product and then you get a 20% return back. You then have £1,200 in your hand. Now if you take that £1,200, expend a similar amount of effort again, and then you will receive back £1,440. And then if you invest that again, then you will gain another 20% and another 20%, and the whole thing will snowball. And the next thing you know, your business is much bigger. You're making much more money. You're generating more cash. Maybe it's time to bring on a new staff member, or maybe it's time to pull that money out of the business to go enjoy yourself, because essentially we're doing this to, provide for our lifestyles. But in my opinion, having cash sat there in the bank is just a complete waste of time. I mean, I'm not saying this, I don't want people to go out there and be reckless and then find themselves living hand to mouth, or you've got to remember that sometimes unexpected expenses do crop up. And, I'm testament to that, because I've had an issue where there has been fraud on my Amazon account, which I'm still working through. Hopefully by the time this video goes out, that'll be resolved. But if it is, I'll give you an update, obviously, because that's my main priority right now. But the thing is, I invested all my cash into stock, but I'm not worried about paying bills or if unexpected things crop up, because that money that's in stock continues to generate me revenue. So if on day one I've invested all of my money in stock and a crisis happened and I have zero money, give it a week, give it 2 weeks, give it 3 weeks, I'll have thousands of pounds back in my bank account to deal with whatever issue arises. So as long as you're buying the right kind of things. So I'm not telling people to go out there and be reckless with your products. If you 100% know what you're doing, why would you sit on the cash? That's my opinion. That's my view. And I, personally, as a testament to that, have even gone one step further and utilised credit. And now, living in this day in society, you know, money is floating around everywhere. And you can access that money. In my opinion is, if you know you're onto a good thing, if you get access to more money, you can just make that good thing bigger. Providing that you're astute, you're careful with your finances in a way that you're making sure everything you need to cover is covered. You've got a good plan, you've got a good cash flow plan. Why would you not use other people's money to make more money? So for my DJ liquidation deal that I put together with Disco Henry, if you're watching, buddy, I utilised credit to buy that deal. So I did all the work, I did all the analysis, I knew I was going to get a good return on it, but I didn't actually have the money there to do it. And at this point, I wasn't a limited company, I was just working for myself. And at this point, I had no limited company bank credit that I could lean on. So what did I do? I applied for a credit card. And I applied for a credit card with a £7,500 limit on it. The beauty of this is, it had a 0% on purchases. So what did that mean for me? It meant I could go and buy £7,500 worth of DJ equipment and not have to pay a penny of that back until 36 months time later. So, and by that time, I've already received it, I've sold through most of it, I've reinvested it again, I've got it back, I've reinvested it again. So by the time it comes to paying that, 36 months down the line, to paying that credit card back, I've generated, probably double, if not more, return off that £7,500. But as a word of warning, something that I've put in place is, over this period, I knew that in 36 months I had to pay the £7,500 back. So what I did is I broke that £7,500 into 36 instalments, and I have them paid off every single month. So by the time I get to the end of the interest-free period, that credit card is going to be paid off, but it's drip feeding out of my business. So cash now is worth so much more than cash later. And this is a huge business principle that I'm sharing with you guys. I read a book called Buy Low, Sell High, Collect Early, Pay Late. Because essentially, if you uphold those principles within business, providing you are adhering to everyone's agreements, I'm not saying by any sense of the word don't pay somebody on time, because in business your integrity is everything. Always pay people on time. But if you can negotiate a term whereby they invoice you and you only pay them at the end of the month, then you've got that extra 30 days to go ahead and generate more revenue from what you've got coming in. But a word of warning, guys, I'm saying this now, don't want anybody going in too deep. If you go in too deep, you're likely to go under and come a cropper. So the main thing that takes businesses down is improper cash flow management. But I'm saying the main thing that keeps people in the position they're in without growing into better people is probably not utilising the assets they've got at their disposal. And cash is the biggest asset you can have at your disposal, period. Use it, utilise it, make it work for you, but be careful when you do it. At this stage in time, there's no more questions for question of the day that I can answer quickly and succinctly in these videos, because as you know, I do tend to waffle, and some of these questions are an entire video in themselves. So thank you very much, guys, for putting the questions forward. I'm not going to devalue any of these questions that require a more complex response by giving you sort of a top line view. I'd like to go into a bit more detail about them, so I'll save those for another video. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope this helps you guys and makes you think differently about money and cash flow and the way that you run your business. But like I said, Don't go too deep. Be careful, but make that money work for you. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one. Keep hustling.